I got a new camera. Hello everyone, I got a new camera. I can see myself in the screen above. I got a vlogging camera, oh my god. Basically, I bought a camera, which is what I was filming my YouTube videos on, but I bought it because it was cheaper than the one that I wanted, but then when I got it, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I sold that one and used the money to buy this one second hand. So it was cheaper than buying it new, which is why I didn't buy it in the first place. But then I just wasted money on one that didn't do what I wanted it to do. So now I have a proper vlogging camera. It's a Canon with the flip up, and now it's like, as I can see myself, it's a vlogging camera. It's insane, oh my god. Anyway, I'm having a day of not really doing much, but I fancy doing some painting. I fancy doing, I don't know, some little bits, and I thought, why don't I use it as an excuse to get used to my new camera. So I'll take you along for the ride, just a little day in the life. It's probably not going to be a long video, but yeah. I got a new shower curtain. It has ducks on it. I feel like it brightens up my room. Right, I'm going to wash my face. I go in with the CeraVe hydrating cleanser, okay, and this is all I wash my face with. I know lots of people do like loads of steps, they use a cleanser, they use a scrub. No, I literally just, oh that's cold, get some hot water and a flannel, off I go. Then get me little tub of skincare out. I use the hyaluronic acid by The Ordinary. I can't tell if this lighting's good or not, who knows. Put that everywhere. I found that having more products after you wash your face than focusing on products like to wash your face has helped me a lot, because I feel like we're tricked into buying loads of products to clean your face with when actually they do more harm than good. Like all these scrubs and shit, like they never made my face feel good, but now because I focus more on putting serums on, doing like aftercare, it works a lot better for me. That was the niacinamide by The Ordinary, and this, oh, this is one of my like top tier products that I recommend anybody to get. It's the caffeine solution by The Ordinary, and I put it under my eyes, and my eyes, my skin, I like dab the excess around, but like I've never felt like my eyes and my skin has had so much bounce and so much glow. This is the Cetaphil Daily Defense Moisturizer. Love this. 50 SPF, which is like an absolute must for me in a moisturizer. I will not use a moisturizer unless it's got an SPF in it, because it's so important. Like, you need to be wearing your SPF. I put the excess down my neck and the excess on the back of my hands just because why not? That is my like glowy doing this thing where it's just scales up here and then all the way up. I'm actually thinking, because I've got a lot of Harry Potter stuff, right, and I'm not happy about it. Like, I want to get rid of it, but I don't just want to get rid of it. I'm thinking I might try and sell it, because a lot of it is like, if that's in pristine condition. So I think I might sell them and then donate the money to like a trans charity. Does that sound like a good idea? I feel like that's a big fuck you to JK Rowling. So I think I might sell a lot of my Harry Potter stuff, because I mean, it used to be my special interest, but obviously with her being a TERF, like I can't justify having it anymore. Like, it makes me, I just don't want it. And like, whilst I still find Harry Potter comforting to a certain degree, it's not a vibe anymore. I've moved very far away from it, and I think I might, look at her, I think I'm gonna sell it and use the money to donate somewhere. I'm very stressed today because there's clearly some work going on in the building that I live in, and I feel like there's just always noise in my building, and there is nothing I can do. There is nothing, like, I don't need to do anything today. I can't be bothered to go into town, can't be bothered to just waste money leaving. and like I want to have a day in the house, but like I think there's work going on in the flat below me and it's just constant, and I have a real issue with noises in the house. It really stresses me out. I find it very triggering, and yeah, I hate it. But on the plus side, I am going to therapy. Good news, I found a therapist. Basically, where I live, there is a private local clinic that outsources therapists that like are like freelance, and then they provide them with spaces to do their therapy appointments. And I submitted a request, got a phone call the same day and booked in an appointment for the next day. Hair looks a little bit yellowy. Anyway, so I am going to therapy. I'm starting EDMR therapy, which has been highly recommended to me given that CBT just did nothing. If anything, it made me worse. So I'm doing that every 2 weeks, and I want to state that I know that I'm incredibly privileged to be in a position where I'm able to pay for private therapy now. It was one of my goals last year, but I was just never in a place financially where I could justify doing it. And now I feel a little bit more stable. I am going to therapy, and I'm hoping to get my PIP through so that that can sort of like support me in that way, but I've been rejected twice now, so off to a tribunal I go. Yeah, so if you can hear banging in the background and I get stressed, that's why. I'm gonna make myself coffee number 2 of the day, and it's like 11:15, but when stressed, make coffee, which I know probably doesn't help because coffee is sort of an anxiety inducer, but I like coffee and I have a fun coffee machine, so I want to make myself a nice coffee. This is already so much easier. Like, I couldn't use my old camera for vlogging because it was too big and it just, the lens wasn't right. And when I vlogged previously, I would use my phone, but I don't have enough storage on my phone, so I couldn't film everything that I wanted to. Whereas this, I can just put it down, film, and then edit it how I want. Yes, we all know that that's how filming and vlogging works. Ella, thank you. Off we go. It's going well. Got my coffee. I need to clean my coffee machine as well. It's one of those things that I put off and then I look at it and I'm like, Ella, it's too far. If you were a cafe, you'd have a hygiene rating of 1. That was dramatic. I'm not that disgusting. I just have demand avoidance, executive dysfunction, and I pretty much live in a constant state of burnout, but don't we all? We don't. That's why it's a problem. Oh my god, this coffee machine, it's very hard to use because I have some barista experience, so I sort of know what I'm doing in terms of like frothing milk, getting the right texture, putting patterns on the top and stuff, like doing latte art. And this coffee machine, because it's not like an industrial one, it's very different to the ones that I've used in cafes. So like, apologies. It's taken a long time for me to actually get used to how working it to make anything, and this is the best pattern I've been able to make, and it's still not even that good, but it's got some kind of distinction. Hang on. It's like seriously not that good at all, but considering I've not been able to do anything, I'll take it. The thing I've been really enjoying recently is colouring in. I have noticed that I have a bit of an addiction to my phone, and I have been trying to cut down using it, especially when I'm sat at home. I'm watching the TV and I'll have something on for like over an hour and I don't even know what's gone on. I can't even tell you what's just happened in the last hour because I've been sat on my phone scrolling, reading comments, like watching videos on TikTok and shit, and like my screen time actually isn't that bad compared to a lot of my friends and people that I know whose job isn't social media. Like, I find that my screen time actually isn't all that bad. However, it's not good. And I feel like I'm getting that thing where I'm anxious when I can't see my phone, and I don't want to develop too much of an addiction to it, especially considering it is my job. So I am on it a lot more than other people might be. So I found that colouring in, I just got an urge, like last week I got an urge to do some colouring in. And I used to have like an illustration shop where I made my own colouring pages, and I had a couple left over, so I sat and did that. It's the first time I've ever actually filled in an entire colouring sheet. Like, I usually get 3/4 of the way through and then just get bored. But I actually had an urge, and this year, like, I'm trying to just do what my urges tell me to do, as long as they're safe and healthy and it's my cat. As long as they're like safe and healthy and not hurting anyone. Things like, oh, I fancy doing that today, and just doing it because my brain will do everything to convince me to not do it and do nothing all day. And it's getting to the point where that's like really mentally affecting me, because I feel useless and like I'm a waste of space and like I'm not doing enough with my life, which is not true at all, but my brain tricks me into thinking that it is. So I'm trying to act on my urges when they tell me to do it, rather than allowing myself to convince myself to not do it anymore. So I did a live stream on TikTok last week where I just did some colouring in, and it really helped me feel present. So that's what I've been doing. Like, when I've been watching the TV, I've been rewatching Silent Witness, not from the beginning because there's too many, but from like series 20, and I've been colouring in, and it's meant that when I am on my phone, it feels much more worth it than just pointless scrolling, if that makes sense. And yeah, I feel like my brain is a lot more awake. My brain is a lot less like mush, if that makes sense. So if anybody has been looking for something to do, if they feel like you've been like attached to your phone a bit too much, yeah, colouring in. I got this one in Tiger, and it's full of like really, really weird looking pages. Some strange ones. There's some really strange ones. But yeah, colouring in. It's been great. I also love to paint, and one of the things that I love to paint are ducks, and I got this canvas in TK Maxx. It's quite big. Last year, at the beginning of last year, and I painted this, and I wanted a load more, but I never got round to it. And then I found another canvas in TK Maxx, the same shape but smaller. So I painted another duck. Basically my whole room in my living room is like red and pinks and yellows and like warm tones. So obviously this is pink and red, and I found another one. It's not oval, it's circle. And I think I might do some painting today, because that one's there. Thinking of putting like them all over my TV. Again, another Harry Potter thing, that it fits with the room, but I don't. Are they Christmas decorations? I forgot to take my Christmas decorations down. I want rid of it, and I think I'm just gonna sell a load of my Harry Potter things. I want them gone. Anyway, ducks. I want some smaller ones, like some littler ones. I do have some square ones, but I don't know. I think I like the fact that these are sort of round and oval and curved rather than the sharp edges. So I'll pop that one up, and then I've got a big circle one, which I'll show you, that I think I might get started on today. I think I might do an orange background. I feel like that'll work well. But this one, like, if you look at the background on this, it's quite smooth. There's obviously some patches, but like, you can't see the canvas in the back. Whereas this one, I'm not as happy with this one. It's inspired by Matt Smith's Doctor Who, if you can tell. So maybe I'll do a one inspired by a different Doctor this time. Maybe I'll put like Jodie Whittaker's t-shirt on, the rainbow one. But yeah, that's my plan for today. This is the canvas that I found in TK Maxx, and that's it compared to this one. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. I might do it orange. I don't really know what kind of duck to do. Like, I love this one. It's a mallard duck. But I don't it looks so dark when it gets dark that it almost loses its features. I could probably do some tweaking, but to be quite honest, I can't be bothered. So I don't know what kind of duck to do, because this is obviously your classic, like, I think they're an American domestic breed, this kind, but I don't know what kind of duck to do. I could do a female mallard, which are like the brown speckly ones, but that sounds like a lot of work. And maybe I'll do some Googling of different duck types. So I've put some newspaper down, and funnily enough, there's me. I'm on the front page of the newspaper that I'm using. It's the Courier, it's the student newspaper for Newcastle University. And basically they did like a feature on queer safe spaces in Newcastle, and I run a queer collective with my friends in Newcastle, so we got put on the front page. It was very cool. We're called Canny Queer Collective, go check us out. Here's my space. I'm gonna go get my paints. I've put the next episode of Silent Witness on, and I'll probably time-lapse myself doing the base. So for this bit, I just work around and make sure that it's darker on the outside, lighter on the inside. It takes a little bit of going back and forth, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. I just had some beans on top of a giant crumpet with some cheese for me dinner. Sometimes beans on toast just doesn't hit the spot, and I know it's my comfort food, but sometimes I need something other than toast. So I have a giant crumpet, like Warburtons bringing out giant crumpets. They knew what they were doing. They knew. And I want to show you something that I found in Tesco, no, Asda yesterday. I love the Cadbury's like tippy pops that they do, these things, because the yogurt in them is like unbelievably good. And I've been praying for them to bring it out just on its own, and they have. You could get little ones, but not big ones. This is like a massive pot, so I've been having this, just coming into the kitchen and doing like a little spoonful, or 2 or 3 or 4. Like, it is so exciting. Like, it's the most delicious thing in the world. So if you're ever in a big supermarket, go buy yourself one. It says on the lid, bigger pot made to share. Who do they think I'm sharing it with? I am very happy with this. So I'm gonna finish or start on the body of the duck later on, but something I want to talk about, which is something that I've discovered recently, honestly, and I've not been able to sleep properly. I've not been able to focus. I've not been it's been occupying my mind to an intense level. So I was scrolling through TikTok the other day, and I came across a video that somebody had stitched talking about how tone, when somebody says to you, I don't like your tone, can you watch your tone? Be mindful of your tone. Can you lower your tone, please? They don't mean your tone of voice. And when people say like, oh, autistic people struggle with tone, again, they don't mean tone of voice. They mean tone as in like you in general. When I tell you that my mind is blown, because I have never thought about it from that perspective, ever. And so many people, like so many autistic people, like I made a video myself about it. If you want to go and see the original, go follow my TikTok. I made a video about it where I was talking about how it's just something that I've never looked at in that perspective. It's always been, if somebody says, watch your tone, or I don't like your tone, of course I think they mean tone of voice, but they don't. Tone of voice is included in what they mean, in terms of like how you speak, your facial expressions, your body language, everything that goes into like how you come across. So tone of voice is included, but they mean tone as in your energy and not necessarily how you're speaking, which has blown my mind. Like, no wonder when anybody said to me, I don't like your tone or watch your tone, I didn't understand what they meant. Or when I was like trying to do something about that, I never got it right, because I never actually understood what they meant, because they meant something different. They just didn't say that. How have I lived nearly 23 years of my life, and other people have lived longer than that, not actually knowing what tone means? It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. That proves to me that there are points in my life where I have tried to mask and it has not worked, and that's one of the reasons for it, because I've not being able to blend in the way that is acceptable because I've not understood a situation. I mean, if this isn't the epitome of autistic people taking things literally, like, that is a good way of translating that trait into real life, is when somebody says, I don't like your tone, you take it literally and think it means tone. But I don't understand how anybody understood that differently. Like, I don't understand how anybody took that and thought it meant something different. But if that just doesn't, I don't know how else to prove that autistic people have a different mind than things like that, because I can't fathom how people would interpret that and translate that differently. But it literally means your energy, your attitude, your vibes, how you come across. And I do not know what to do with this information. It has confused me, has made me feel like everything I have done has been completely wrong. Because, like, I feel like I'm good at understanding things, and then things like this happen. I think I figured something out, and then things like this happen. Like, every day I learn something new, and then I think that that's going to be the end of it, and it's not the end of it. It keeps going. There is more. Who knew that tone didn't actually mean tone? Can you let me know in the comments if your mind has been blown, or if I'm just stating the obvious, because to me this is all new information. Unbelievably new information. I think I'm gonna do a tufted duck. I'm gonna use this as my reference, but I'm gonna do a white duck again, just because I had difficulty doing the dark bits on the last one that I did. But I'm gonna do a tufted duck, and then I think I'm gonna do it with its mouth open so that it's a little bit different to the other one and in this position. I think that's going to be fun. I'm going to make the tuft a little bit more like sticky uppy as well. Fun! That's where I am at the moment. This is like the underlayer that I do. I haven't put like the tufted bit on the head, but I tend to have to do it in layers, especially when you put the feathers and stuff on to get them raised. So this is just an undercoat. So I am probably going to wrap up the vlog here. I want to talk about something pretty exciting. So the middle of last year, I signed with a management, and it was like the first ever experience I'd had with a management. But I just felt like after being with them for 6 months, I sort of wanted to go in a different direction. Because like one of my dreams is I want to be an actor. Like, I want to be on screen. I want to be on stage. I just want to act in any capacity that I can. I've always been a theatre kid. I've always been somebody that like loved performing and being in that environment in any capacity. Like, when I was at university, I was involved with the Theatre Society. I became president of the Theatre Society while I was there. I directed plays, I was on stage, and I work in a theatre at the moment, part-time, just a few hours a week, because I just love being in that environment. And I feel like social media is like such a great gateway to get into that. I mean, I make sketch videos, I act a little bit on my TikTok. It's obviously not in a professional capacity, but it's sort of something. And I think with masking, like especially like being autistic and masking, I feel like I've been performing my entire life, just day to day. And yeah, so I left my old management to move into new realms, and now I am with a acting and talent agent, which is like, it's just so weird. Like, I was sat the other night and I was thinking, I have an acting agent. Like, some people wait years to find somebody that'll sign them, and I now have an acting agent, and I'm going to be trying to get into acting, whether it's training, learning, actually putting myself forward for things, getting castings, things like that. And I want to do it in any capacity I can. Like, I'd love to do theatre. I'd love to be on stage in any way. Like, it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I just never knew how to get into it without nepotism. There's just so much nepotism in that industry. So I feel like social media has just been such a massive gateway to get into those realms, because it's become like a showcasing of who I am and what I do and what I stand for and what I want to do, which is really fucking cool. So now I have an acting agent, I have a talent agent, like that is, it sort of deals with everything that I do now. Social media is still like something that I do, it's my job, it's where I make money, it's something that I love, I wouldn't still be doing it if I didn't love it, because I do. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little update on it, just to, I guess, say thank you, because I wouldn't be in this position. I don't think I would have found a way of getting into this industry, and it might not go anywhere, you never know. I am in very much the early stages of like hoping it becomes a thing, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you for following me, subscribing, engaging in my content, sharing my content, engaging in my ads, and making sure that I still make money from this, because it is my job. But it is so difficult when you are disabled and queer and you are a marginalised member of society trying to make a job of something where there is a lot of ableism, there is a lot of homophobia, there is very clear evidence that people like me get paid less. And yeah, I guess I'm just feeling very grateful, and I'm hoping that 2023 is gonna be really exciting. I am in Manchester at the end of the month, which is somewhere that I'm really seriously considering moving to. I don't want to be in Newcastle forever. It's not accessible when it comes to travelling and things like that, because I travel a lot now, I've got to be in places. So I'm thinking about moving to Manchester, and I'm going down at the end of the month for a talk. I'm on a panel. I don't know if you guys know Ellie Middleton, but she is an amazing ADHD autism advocate, and she started a community called Unmasked, and they have their first ever in-person event at the end of the month, and I'm on the panel, which is very exciting, so I'm going down for that. Then I am in London in February, because I am modelling in London Fashion Week. I'm modelling in London Fashion Week, and it was meant to happen last September, but it got cancelled because the Queen died. So it's been rescheduled to February's London Fashion Week, which is, I'm not going to believe it's real until I'm there. I'm sorry if you can hear noise. There's some shouting going on somewhere. This building, I swear to God. It's another reason why I need to move, because I'm sick of my fucking neighbours. Like, they've got no respect at all. Anyway, I'm going down to London for London Fashion Week, which is not going to feel real until I'm there and it's over and I see pictures of it. Like, I'm probably just going to dissociate the entire time. It's for an access brand called Unhidden, and they make access wear and inclusion wear for people who are disabled, chronically ill, in whatever capacity, and it is very exciting because everybody that's going to be on the runway is disabled, and I am just so excited for just being in that environment, like to be in a space that is occupied by people who are content creators, who are Paralympians, who are activists. Like, I'm very excited. That's always my favourite thing to do. I went to a couple of things last year where it was for disabled content creators, and it's just such a special space. Like, there is nothing more, sorry, somebody talking outside my door. There's nothing more accepting than those environments, and it always feels so nice. Like, I always feel my best in those environments, so I feel very fortunate and I'm very excited. So look out on my Instagram and my TikTok. I think I might vlog it actually. I think I'm going to vlog my weekend in Manchester, and I think I'm going to vlog London Fashion Week, so there's going to be lots of content on that. And yeah, I'm excited for my future, which is a funny thing to say because I feel like I got into such a slump during like lockdown and when I was at uni, thinking that I had no idea where my life was going to go, and I could not have predicted it was going to be this. But I'm very, very happy that it is going this way. So yeah, I sort of just want to throw myself into everything. Like, there's so many things, like I was saying before, where my brain convinces myself to just not do it, but I'm trying to throw myself into things, even if I'm anxious about it, as long as I'm safe and as long as I feel comfortable enough and I feel like I can do it, I'm trying to throw myself into everything that I can. So look out for vlogs, look out for content, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscribers and my watch count up, so yeah, go watch everything else that I've got on my YouTube. Subscribe, like this video, comment on this video, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you in my next video.